Hey y'all, my name is Briley Casanova and I'm a Certified Mental Performance Consultant, or CMPC for short. Today, I want to talk about a different way to think about and relate to uncomfortable emotions such as fear. What if I told you that you can still perform well even if you have negative thoughts? Would you believe me? Think about a time when you performed well even though you didn't feel great for whatever reason. Maybe you were sore, tired, or less prepared than you wanted to be, or maybe you were just unmotivated to show up that day, but you showed up anyway. Maybe you got into a fight with a friend or a family member right before it was time to train or compete, and you had to overcome that and focus on your performance. I'm here to tell you that it's not a coincidence or an accident that you did well despite your feelings or emotions. What do you think led to your success despite not feeling good or confident? Where was your attention during your performance? It is possible to perform well despite your feelings. Regardless of how you feel, you can still do great at whatever endeavor you choose. This might sound against the grain of commonly accepted performance psychology principles. All of this to say, there is a time and a place to take a step back and decide if it's right to train or compete or not due to pain, illness, etc. That choice is up to you. And there's no wrong answer, only what is right for you and your well-being. I don't want you to walk away from today thinking that I encourage competing while ill or injured, but I'd also be lying to you if I told you that I myself, as a former competitive gymnast, have not done that before. In fact, I see my past competitive life with many lessons learned. Certain times that I competed through illness and injury were the right choice for me, and other times it wasn't. Some of my best performances were while I was sick or injured, for better or worse. That's something that elite level sports come with, but you get to decide your limits and boundaries. So with this in mind, what if we explored the idea of accepting an uncomfortable emotion, such as fear, as an option? How we can move forward despite fear. Focus on taking action and the facts of your situation. We can come back to emotions later and process them at another time, after the performance is over or even between performances, depending on your sport or activity. Now, context is key. How can you adapt to and accept your context as your reality instead of forcing what you want to see or trying to change it altogether? Those are some things to consider. I have another question for you guys. How would you describe yourself in 5 words without mentioning your sport or activity? In other words, who you are outside of your sport. What does that mean? Knowing who you are is a more sustainable and lasting thing rather than the fearful or emotional situation that you're in. There will come a day when our time in our sport comes to an end. Emotions are fleeting, actions, however, are not. Legacies and reputations don't lie. Now, what behaviors describe you as a person? So another thought is, what are you being evaluated on? Chances are you're not being evaluated on your thoughts, but you're being evaluated on your behaviors. And that's good news. Your thoughts don't have to be perfect for you to perform perfectly. You can still do an excellent performance with poor thoughts, believe it or not. This is unpopular, but it's true. Again, remember that example I asked you to think about earlier. Now, on the flip side, you could have a great quality thoughts and you can still perform poorly. Now, at the end of the day, it's about getting done what needs to get done. You don't have to feel great about it or even like it, but can you do what you need to accomplish and live out your purpose simultaneously? I encourage you to think about that. Next idea is to bring awareness to where you are right now in your journey. What are you going to be about moving forward with the time that you have left in your sport or activity? How do you want to be remembered after you're done with your sport? Here's an activity for you. Get out a piece of paper. Now, all the way on the left side of the paper, I want you to draw a big letter X. This marks the first day that you decided to start your athletic journey, however long ago that was. Now, all the way on the right side of the paper, so the opposite side, I want you to draw another X. This symbolizes the end of your journey, whenever that will be, whether it's predictable or unpredictable. Now, between those X's that you drew, decide where you are in your journey right now and draw another X to symbolize that. Take a moment to think about it. Once you've done that, draw a line connecting your first X to today's X. And I want you to reflect on the events, the emotions, the thoughts, and the milestones that happened to connect you from day 1X to today's X. What you're left with is a big empty space to fill in front of you. Now, underneath that empty space, if you have room on that piece of paper, I want you to write down what you want to fill the rest of your time in your sport with. What do you want to be about? What do you want to achieve? What do you want to see happen? What experiences do you want to make happen? The last part of this activity is to understand that you likely encountered fear and unpleasant emotions earlier in your career, and you will likely experience those things again, but with more experience. The unpleasant feelings are not going away. They never will. They don't go away. However, what does change is you. You get stronger. You learn to perform despite discomfort and fear. You can still perform well, have great experiences, and win, all with fear being along the ride with you. That is what elite athletes do. So moving through fear all comes down to what you focus on. Are you going to focus on and emphasize the fear? Or are you going to focus on and emphasize taking action and doing something despite being scared? You can take action and acknowledge fear as a passenger next to you the whole time. I wish you the best of luck in your career. I hope you practice working through fear today in order to have a more resilient, sustainable tomorrow. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much for listening. Please check out my social media platforms and contact information. I have now consolidated all of my relevant links to one link tree. Again, thank you for listening. I appreciate you being here. Good luck. Take care.